Hazaku Baruch, good morning. This evening we are starting the second part of the Hag for Pesach, and we're just going to quickly discuss two important halachot for this evening. The first, in proper consecutive order, will be the mitzvah of Eruv Tavshilin. Whenever we have the Chag, the holiday, going into Shabbat, we always have this question, and halachically we're not allowed to cook from Yom Tov for Shabbat. Now, if one wants to do all of their cooking before, let's say they want to finish it all today, it's not a problem. But since we are allowed to cook tonight and tomorrow, because it's Yom Tov and it's not Shabbat, so therefore we will need to prepare and start our cooking for Shabbat even before the Yom Tov. It is up for debate. Is it rabbinically prohibited to cook from Yom Tov to Shabbat, or is it from the Torah prohibited to cook from Yom Tov to Shabbat? And therefore, to avoid such a question, we do Eruv Tavshilin. Eruv Tavshilin is the follows. We'll say practically the best way and the proper way to do it. There's obviously a lot more intricacies in the matter, but just very quickly we'll do it. Ideally, being that it is Pesach, a person should take 2 matzot. Each matzah at least of a kazait, right? If you have the big round ones, you probably have 2 kazaits per one. Ideally, you would need 2 matzot, and then you will take another type of dish. Some do meat, some do fish. The easiest way to do it would be 2 hard-boiled eggs, and that would be just as fine. What we do is we take that, we pick it up, and we make the bracha as following: Baruch atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, asher kideshanu, b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, al mitzvat eruv. That is all we're doing. Now, once we pick that up and we do that, what we are doing is we are now allowing and we are now activating that allowance for us to cook tomorrow for Shabbat. And once we do that, we're allowed to cook any time of the day. We could cook even later on in the afternoon, even though it's not going to be for Yom Tov and it's for Shabbat, that is also allowed. After there is a line that we say in Aramaic, after the bracha, I'll read it to you, and then we'll translate it so when we say it tonight, we will understand. When we say it this afternoon, we will understand. It says as follows: Bedin eruva, with this eruv that I'm taking, the food that I am now making an allowance for me to cook, Yeheh shareh lana, let it be permitted for us because of this, le'afuyeh, to bake, uvushle, and also to cook, ul'adluke shagra, ul'me'bad kol tzarchana miyom tov le'shabbat. And in order for us to light candles for Shabbat, and also for us to do any other needs that we will need to do from Yom Tov to Shabbat. Once we do this, we're allowed to do more than just cooking for Shabbat. We're allowed to set the table for Shabbat even before the Chag is over. We're allowed to make beds. We're allowed to carry things for Shabbat. We're allowed to fix a Sefer Torah. The opposite way we're not allowed. From Shabbat to Yom Tov, you can't even fix a Sefer Torah for the next day, like what happened last week. So whenever we do an Eruv, we are now taking care of all of the needs that we will need to prepare from Yom Tov to Shabbat. Again, the level of sanctity between Yom Tov and Shabbat overrides Yom Tov. That's why we're allowed to go from Yom Tov to Shabbat, but not Shabbat to Yom Tov. That is important thing. Next thing we have to discuss is who does the Eruv and when is it done. So who does it? Normally, the man of the house does the Eruv. Each person should do their own Eruv. If the man's not able to, doesn't know how to, and the wife wants to do it, she can definitely do it, and she should do it before lighting her candles. All day long, we can do the Eruv, even from right now, for after Shacharit. If you know you're going to forget, if you know it's going to get hectic later, you could do it right away. If not, any time until candle lighting, you can do it. And even after candle lighting, if it is before stars out, even b'di'avad, not ideally, but if it's before stars out, you can still not cook it, but you can still take that Eruv and make the beracha. The next halacha is just with regards to candle lighting this evening. Tonight's candle lighting, obviously there's no shechianu according to all opinions. It's ladlik ner shel yom tov. The bracha is made before the lighting according to all opinions again, and make sure to leave a ner tamid so you'll have what to light with for tomorrow evening. Tonight Mincha Arvit is going to be at 6:30, and tomorrow morning Shacharit for Yom Tov is going to be at 9 a.m. Bezrat Hashem Yitbarach. We hope to see everybody, and Hag Sameach. Turn the video.